I know making pasta carbonara can be a little bit tricky using raw eggs, but I've got a really easy trick for you to use to make this amazing, delicious, incredibly classic pasta carbonara recipe. What's happening, my comies? Chef Billy Parisi here, where I teach you techniques and recipes so that you can make absolutely anything from scratch. And today we're gonna be hooking up one of my favorite pasta dishes of all time, carbonara. It's incredibly easy to make. You can literally pull this off in under 20 minutes. Where else can you get a fantastic meal for your family to put on the table in under 20 minutes and be homemade? The first thing we're gonna do is start by prepping up our guanciale. If you read it, it looks like guanciale, but it's pronounced guanciale. Say it with me, guanciale. What it is cured hog jowl. That's the cheekies. Now, if you love barbecue and you've ever smoked a whole pig, there's tons of flavor in there. And the same goes for this guanciale. You got some nice spices and herbs on there. Incredibly delicious. You will love this. Now, with that being said, you may see pancetta or bacon in a pasta carbonara. That is incredibly unclassic in this recipe. Guanciale needs to be used to make it that perfect Roman pasta carbonara. So what we are going to do here is simply medium to large dice it up. And if you have a little bit of that funk on the outside of that fat cap, just go ahead and trim it off and discard it. Once you've got that perfect dice you're looking for, remember it should be bite-sized, go ahead and set it on a plate. We're going to set it aside. What we need to do right now is separate some egg yolks from the whites. So go ahead and crack an egg, and then what you want to do is sort of bobble it back and forth between the shell, releasing the white into a separate bowl. If you want to use it later for egg whites for breakfast, like scrambled egg whites, totally can, and it's completely up to you. Then what you'll do is simply place that yolk right into a separate bowl. And please don't flip out if you get a little bit of white in there or your yolks break. It's not gonna change the flavor of this carbonara. And if you want an even easier way to do this, check out my creme anglaise video where I simply put on gloves and let the whites drip through my fingers. Really easy to do. You gotta put on gloves or wash your hands really well. Now we're going to finally grate in some fresh pecorino Romano cheese. Do not let this be Parmesan cheese. It will not be classic in the way this dish was intended to be eaten and created. We're going to now ground in just a little bit of black pepper, whisk it together. It's going to be pretty thick. Don't worry, we're gonna loosen it up in just a little bit. Once that is combined, set it to the side, and now we need to cook off our guanciale. So go ahead and take that plate back over to a cooktop. We're gonna set a large saute pan, and over medium to medium low heat, we're gonna add just a wee bit of olive oil just to start off cooking the guanciale so it doesn't stick by using no oil in the pan. Do not rush to cook the guanciale. You do not want it to burn, okay? There's a ton of fat on here and it does have a tendency to do that. That's why I'm cooking it on medium to medium low heat. Take the time to do this. Should only take 5 or 6 minutes anyways. And here's the trick for the eggs. We're gonna be using some of that hot rendered guanciale fat to sort of temper the eggs, bring it up a little bit without cooking it, but heating it. So go ahead and tilt that pan, use a spoon, get out some of that fat. You don't have to get all of it, don't worry. Put it in a bowl. Head over to where that other bowl is with the whisked egg yolks, pecorino, and pepper. We're going to drizzle it in while whisking. If you need to hold on to that bowl because the egg yolks are so thick, no problem. This is gonna add a lot of flavor. And it's sort of like making a hollandaise. Think you got fat and you got egg yolk, so it's gonna make it richer, creamier, more delicious, and for sure salty, because guanciale, ooh-wee, it's salty, but it is delicious. All right, you guys, the carbonara sauce is finished. It is now pasta time, and you know I believe homemade food from scratch just tastes better. So of course, I'm gonna be using homemade spaghetti. I just made it. If you wanna see a very easy recipe, and it takes only an hour, 1 hour to make homemade pasta. You know I'm not a 30-minute meal guy, but if you give me 1 hour, I'm gonna blow your mind. That's 30 extra minutes for an insanely delicious meal. Pasta stores really well in the refrigerator or in the freezer, so I'm simply pulling it out. And of course, if you have to use prepackaged, I'm not gonna be mad at you, but I want you to know you are missing out on some incredible flavor by using homemade pasta. And pasta cooks very quickly. So what we're gonna do is salt up the water. I always say that water should be tasting like the ocean. It helps season your food, it keeps color, keeps that water moving so things don't stick. Add the pasta right in there. It's only gonna take, seriously, 2-3 minutes max for that perfect al dente pasta. Here is another trick. As soon as you dump the pasta, give it a quick stir. Then we're gonna take a little bit of that hot, starchy water out. We're gonna add it to that egg yolk and pecorino cheese mixture just to cook the eggs a little bit further without scrambling them. Head back over to that pasta because it's probably done at this point. We're gonna give it a few stirs. Now let's go ahead and take the basket out or strainer, whatever you're using. Now add it right to that egg yolk carbonara sauce. Next, don't forget to pour on your guanciale. Mix this goodness together. There is so much flavor in this recipe. If you want to adjust the seasonings with salt and pepper, totally fine to do, but just so you know, it's got a lot of natural salts from that guanciale. To plate up, simply take a nice forkful of that pasta, put it on a beautiful plate. We're gonna add some of those crispy guanciale lardons along with a little extra sauce over top. Next, add on some more fresh grated pecorino Romano cheese. And last but not least, we're gonna add a little bit more pepper. Absolutely love pasta carbonara. You're talking 5 ingredients and done in under 20 minutes. Homemade food isn't hard, it just requires a little bit more time. You can absolutely make this recipe tonight. I'm going to be enjoying every bit of this pasta carbonara. Now it's your turn to hone those skills and make this ASAP. If you want some other pasta recipes, please try my spring pasta with prosciutto and asparagus, or my homemade aglio e olio, and we will catch you on the next video.